We're Jimmy and Natalie, and we live full-time in our van. We're attempting to drive across Canada for our first go at international van life.
Canada now.
We're in Canada! Last week we crossed the border and went straight into the arms of our Canadian friend.
We're meeting out with our friend Steph. Here she is.
Who, let's be honest, pampered us for the first few days. Thank you, Steph. But now we are on our own with our van in a new country for the first time. Will there be adventures? Yes. But are we in over our heads? Well, I'll let you know. We're trying something a little bit different tonight. We are in Canada, obviously, and we've booked our first campsite since we've been in the country. We're in Bruce Peninsula National Park, which is in Ontario, in Tobermory, which we have heard a lot about from our Canadian friends, so we're really excited to see what it's all about.
You heard that right. We have Canadian friends. That's how popular we are.
We do feel very cool to have friends in Canada. And you saw one of them last week, Steph. She showed us around and she actually really highly recommended this place. So this is our campsite. It's beautiful. It's right on Cypress Lake in the Poplar campground. And it was 30 Canadian dollars a night. So pretty decent, especially for being inside a national park. There's no water and no electricity, but we really don't need it. We're super off-grid. We've got 2 picnic tables and a little campfire ring.
How many solar panels are we supposed to have?
3.
Okay, good. And have you showed them our lakefront property yet?
Oh yeah. This amount of water that we have at our site is really just enough to attract a couple bugs.
Oh yeah, I gotta turn it off.
You put it down, so.
Oh!
Oh,
Okay, that's actually pretty cute.
that's cute.
I'm glad we haven't gotten rid of those yet. They're incandescent, so they draw a lot of power.
Okay.
350 watts so far.
Oh dang. You think we could plug our stove into it?
You wanna try? We can
Kinda.
have lunch out here.
That's true.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab it. See, this is why you don't permanently mount your stove. You can just take it outside. Alright, let's go cook.
Should we bring the fridge out too while we're at it?
I don't think that's worth it.
It's very heavy.
Alright, oh, I never set up the hammock. Alright, I still gotta do that.
Oh, true. You can do that while I cook. Oh my gosh.
I don't use it. Okay, so it's on P9 right now.
Alright. Whoa, that's climbing. You know, the great thing about using oregano as part of your seasoning is if a couple of flies get into the meal, you don't see them.
That is so gross.
I don't think they're really getting in here, but if they are, it's just extra protein.
You probably already know this, but Natalie and I are big on free camping, which usually means living totally off-grid. That's why we're excited to introduce you to the BLUETTI AC-180 portable power station. This has been our solution for our outdoor power needs. So number one, the AC-180 has got a huge load capacity, meaning it's great for extended camping or honestly emergencies while at home. And number two, and what's probably my favorite, the BLUETTI has got a crazy fast charging capability. We were able to charge it to 80% in just 45 minutes and all the way to full in less than an hour and a half. We hooked it right up to our outlet, no adapter needed. The AC-180 has also got a super long battery life at 1152 watt hours, which at the rate we use power in our van with our electric water heater and stove, we could last 2 to 3 days on the AC-180 with no solar. Even after a few hours, the AC-180 is still going strong with over 60% charge. It's got an extreme power-saving eco mode, customizable AC to DC IoT sockets, meaning you can save even more power. Plus, it has really low self-power consumption, which means it drains slower than other batteries. It comes with an adapter, so you can hook up your solar panels to it right out of the box. Finally, it uses LiFePO4 battery technology, which means it will last for many, many more cycles and be more efficient than traditional lead acid batteries. All in all, what sets the BLUETTI AC-180 apart is its ultra high cost performance. You'd be hard pressed to find another portable power station that gives you this much power and reliability for such an affordable price. So if you're ready to take your van life to the next level, head to the link in our description and get your BLUETTI AC 180 portable power station today.
I wanted to try cooking outside. I didn't realize it would look like such a cooking show setup. But since we've been in Canada, we have been going to Walmart for our groceries, and we don't have all the same groceries that we would normally get. They kind of have some different stuff here. Here they have Dempster's, and it's got like a Canadian maple leaf on it. It's been really fun for us. That's like probably our favorite part of Canada so far. Just learning like these little pieces of Canadian culture that I don't experience in the States regularly. So with that in mind, we've come up with a Canadian bucket list, little more everyday things we want to try and experience, like poutine, which I've heard is basically like gravy on fries, but we got to try it. It's very Canadian. I want to try beaver tails. I want to try pickerel when we're in Winnipeg. And what was the other thing, Jimmy? Was it?
Huh?
You just checked out for the day. We have a friend who is from Canada who recommended Ketchup Chips. So we've got those things on our bucket list. Let me know if there's anything else we should add, because we're going from the east side of Canada in Ontario to closer on the west side. We're at least gonna make it to Alberta. So we're going through 4 different provinces. We wanna make sure that we get the full Canadian experience. So if you know of something Canadian that is not on our bucket list that we need to add, please let us know. No, don't stress yourself out.
I'll try not to. So this being one of our first weeks in Canada, we decided to go ahead and buy the Discovery Pass, which, if you're not familiar, is very, very similar to the National Park Pass that we have in the US. So the Discovery Pass lets us into all of Canada's national parks without having to pay the day use fee. So we're here for about 3 days, so I think we're already making most of that money back. And it's gonna be really, really nice when we go spend time in Banff.
It was 142 Canadian dollars, and that covers both of us for a year.
So we're using the pass today to walk all the way down to the trailhead and go check out the grotto. This looks incredible.
Yeah. It looks like a made-up world, like from a book. This is like the coolest tree I've ever seen. I think it started growing over there and then somehow melded with its buddy over here. So it's like, I don't know how that happens.
We have a really, really bad habit of, when we're in a new area, we like to compare it to places that we've seen or been to before. And we're really trying to get out of that habit. But it's really hard because this place is so pretty and there's so many deciduous trees here. It really reminds us of the Pacific Northwest, even though we've never been there. And
I think you might mean evergreen trees.
Oh, is deciduous the other one?
Yeah, the evergreen is year-round. Deciduous is like, they lose their leaves in the winter. But
you're right.
I'm liking the evergreens.
7th grade science class was a long time ago, so.
That's fair. So behind me is the grotto. That's what we hiked out here to come and actually see. This is on the Georgian Bay and it's really well known for its blue water. It's super clear, very, very cold. It's not recommended to swim. And it's got really rocky cliffs all the way down. Most of the photos we saw of the grotto were actually from the inside, but now that we're here, there are a bunch of signs saying it's not safe to go down into it. So please don't do that. So we're not going to. But honestly, we walked past a bay called like Indian Head Cove that we really underestimated. So I think we might back hike a little bit and go check that out a bit more.
Also, we really wanted to actually put our feet in the water. It's way, way too cold to actually go swimming.
unbelievably pretty over here. The water looks like it would either be freezing glacially cold or like really hot and perfect to go swim.
It's the first one.
It's so cold. And there's all these big rocks here that are really smooth and white, and it's very pretty. It makes it look like a white sand beach from a distance. But the rocks are pretty hard to walk over. Like, they really, really hurt if you're barefoot. And I saw some very angry looking spiders hiding in the rocks. So I let Jimmy go first as much as I could. We are leaving Bruce Peninsula National Park for the day. We have a glass bottom boat tour booked, which is as cool as it sounds. There's a Fathom 5 National Marine Park in Canada, and it's supposed to have 5 different shipwrecks in the lake, and since the water is so clear in this lake, a glass bottom boat tour is the perfect way to see them without having to go diving in the really, really cold water. It's actually been 2 days since we last picked up the camera. We had this scheduled for yesterday, but we found out last minute that it was canceled due to wind.
Important update from Bruce Anchor. Unfortunately, due to severe wind and wave conditions, all of our sailings have been canceled for today.
No!
We apologize for any inconvenience, and we can reschedule your cruise to another date or issue a refund.
We woke up so early for this. And the frustrating thing about that is our ferry leaves today, so we're only barely able to squeeze this in with our schedule. And yesterday, when we planned to do this and have it take up the entire day, we were gonna get off on Flowerpot Island, do a couple hikes, explore the coastline a bit more, and take a picnic. So since we're doing this today, on the day that our ferry leaves, we're not gonna be able to do that. But I think the glass bottom boat tour should still be really cool.
We're the very last ones in line.
The water is so clear, it's wild. It looks like the Tetons.
It does look really, really cool, actually.
Yeah. Oh, I just compared it to something else. I've been trying to not do that.
This boat here was a double-masted wooden schooner, and it was built in Burlington, Ontario back in 1867. We're actually just starting to pass over top of her right through our glass floor there. You guys will see in just a moment through the second panel. But at the time when it crashed, it basically just ran aground where it was too shallow.
She just said this boat has been under the water for 138 years.
And it's so well preserved because the water is really, really cold and not a lot of bacteria grows. After visiting 2 of the many shipwrecks in the Georgian Bay, our boat is taking us to the famous Flowerpot Island, named for the tall dolomite sea stacks jutting up along the shoreline. These have formed naturally over time as the waves have worn away the limestone surrounding them, leaving these towering flower pots behind.
In just a short moment here, we will be making our way towards our dock here on Flowerpot. At this time, I'd just like to remind you, you're now entering the National Park of Canada.
This is the really sad part where everyone else in the boat has gotten off to go explore Flowerpot Island. But since they canceled yesterday, we have to make our ferry. So we have to stay on the boat and return back to mainland.
If we were to get off, we would definitely miss our ferry, which was not cheap. I can't tell if it looks tropical or just glacial, but I know for a fact the water's freezing cold.
Yeah, I'm going with glacial.
Yeah.
It's crystal clear.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, guys.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So we've got a ferry in an hour, but we're running really low on food, and once we leave Tobermory, we're not coming back. The ferry is going to take us from Tobermory to Manitoulin Island, and it's going to be a total one-way trip for us. We're just going to continue on through Canada. We only have 1 hour left in Tobermory, and I think it has a better grocery store selection than Manitoulin Island's going to be. I think the island's going to be a little bit more remote. It might be a bit of a tight fit, but we're going to run to the grocery store and stock up on some food before we leave. Do you think that'll stay if I
That is
leave
looking extra full.
Yeah, maybe I should put something in the fridge.
I think we're honestly doing pretty good on time, and we need to be there an hour early, which means we have 40 minutes to get to the dock.
Do we have time to try our ketchup chips now?
God, that sounds a little gross. We've recently added ketchup chips to our Canadian bucket list. I think Natalie's more excited about them than I am. They sound a little gross, but I'm not gonna judge a chip by its cover, so let's try some.
Yeah, ketchup and potato is such a classic combination. It makes sense that they would be a good chip flavor. Although, to be honest, the picture on the Lay's bag, these don't look the best. They look a little, like...
Yeah, they look moldy.
They look like they've gone bad. How do they smell?
It smells like ketchup.
Whoa, that smells straight up like ketchup.
Cheers.
I'm going for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can taste the ketchup. Oh my gosh. At first it was like salt and vinegar, but then it's heavily ketchup.
That's funny because it's really sweet. It reminds me of barbecue chips, but it's not barbecue. It's definitely ketchup. I could eat a bag of them.
Yeah. It's powdered ketchup. It's like, ah.
Oh. Well.
So cute. You want to save these for the ferry?
Yeah. Put something to work on. There's a Fathom 5. Fathom 5? 5 Fathoms?
Fathom 5.
Fathom 5. That just sounds like a superhero team, but I think that's right.
That seagull almost pooped on you. Yeah, it was like that far away.
The one thing I would do if we do go start to go hiking,
Got my eye on him.
Costco has some nice